Do you ever feel like an imposter, or that maybe you're not good enough to be having the experience you'd like to have within your business? Or maybe that you're not worthy of having the success you're currently having in your business? Hello, my name's Barry William Magliotti, and I'm the CEO and founder of The Game Changers, and we help business owners to triple their profits and double their time off in 12 months or less. And if you'd like to find out more around how The Game Changers can help you and your business grow, increasing your profitability, allowing you to have more free time, and actually enjoying your business again, please click on the link below, book in a time to speak to one of my team. We'd be more than happy to help and see if we can assist you to get there faster and more effectively than ever before. Let's talk about worthiness and its relationship within business. I'm curious to know, have you ever had an experience where you have felt like you're an imposter? You're having a conversation like, who am I to be here having this conversation? Or I don't deserve the wealth that I'm creating right now. I don't deserve this team that I've got. It's something that I've had a few conversations with staff and clients around just over the last week, where there's been this feeling that they haven't quite been good enough, or they've been letting somebody else down. And I'm not sure if you can relate to that, but I'm sure if you're still watching the video now, you can to some degree. And I want to speak about what that is and some steps we can take to actually improve and move through and far beyond that. The first thing to start to realize is that often, as much as we perceive it's the version of us here right now at the age that you are that's feeling those things, it's often not. This patterning that comes up of us not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, not feeling loved, feeling like an imposter is not the version of you that's 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years old. It's a younger version of you that's had some experience growing up in time, that's through that experience has made it mean that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you didn't get the acknowledgement, appreciation that you felt that you deserved at that point in time. And so what happens, because it was a somewhat traumatic or a negative experience, that younger version of you, we've almost capsulated that experience in time. It's been implanted in the back of our subconscious mind, or what we'd call the critter neurology or the creature brain. And that experience plays out in our life and through teens and through adulthood in an attempt to be resolved. Yet this funny thing kind of happens is that it keeps playing out. And it keeps playing out in our marriages, in our relationships, in our interactions with our children and our staff and our clients. And we keep facing the same thing over and over, yet we never quite understand why. And we don't quite know how to shift it. And the hardest part about shifting it is you're trying to shift an experience in the moment that happened at some point in the past. And so firstly, if we're not addressing the experience from when it first happened in the past, we can never resolve it, because we're trying to put a band-aid over something that's wounded far deeper than the surface level of our skin. And so the first thing, if you're experiencing anything like this, to realize is ask yourself the question, where did this first come from? Right, the moment that we start to challenge or question those emotions, those beliefs, and we start to make an inquiry, we start to create a feedback loop that then creates new behavior. Whereas by trying to fix it or resolve it, nothing changes. It's a band-aid solution. So the first question to ask is, where did this first come from? Where did I learn that I needed to feel guilty? Where did I learn that I'm not good enough? Where did I learn that I was not worthy? And who did I learn it from? What conversation happened? What experience happened? And 99% of the time, it will relate back to an experience you had with your parents. Not because your parents don't love you, not because they don't appreciate, not because they don't think that you're worthy, but something happened at that point in time that you made mean a certain thing. See, it's raining outside right now, and one person could look at raining outside and think, oh, it's raining outside, it's a beautiful day. I love when it rains. I get to sit inside, I can feel guilt-free watching a bit of Netflix and chilling out on the couch with my partner. Others might be like, it's a terrible day outside, I can't go and play golf. Now in that situation, that example, which one is right? The person who thinks it's a great day or the person who thinks it's a terrible day? Neither. The situation is a situation, it's raining outside, but it's what they make that mean that changes it. I had my child, my young boy's Leo's mum ring me up the other day. Leo was crying and wouldn't get out of the car to go to school in the morning. And when speaking to him, I was like, what's wrong? He's like, I don't want to go to school. I was like, look, you go to school, I'll pick you up tonight. We're going to have a daddy and son date night and just chill out. And I picked him up from school. We had a conversation and I asked him what was going on. And his mum pointed out in the morning when they were at home that his shirt was on backwards, and his younger brother, Zave, being the rat bag that he is, laughed at him, and he got upset about that. and started crying, got upset, then didn't want to go to school because he was crying, didn't want kids to see him crying. And I said, cool. What would have happened if no one had said anything and you went to school with your shirt on backwards? He's like, well, the class would have seen it. And what would happen? They would have laughed at me. Okay, I said, what's better or worse? If there was better or worse, what would you prefer? He's like, well, Mum and Zave. I was like, great. So what could you make that mean? Like, you've made that mean that you got teased and that you did a silly thing, but what could make that mean? Now, it took him a little while to come around and a few different questions for him to realize, but eventually he got to the fact, he's like, oh, because Mum pointed it out, I could fix my shirt at home safely before I got to school so the kids didn't pick on me. Now, those are two very small analogies, but what happened all the time? We see something, and based on our past patterning, we condition ourselves to make it mean a certain thing. Nothing has meaning other than the meaning we give it. And we choose whether something triggers us or doesn't trigger us. And even when we get triggered, if we allow ourselves to be triggered and then beat ourselves up that we got angry, that we felt guilty, that we weren't good enough, we end up encapsulating and creating more meaning around that trigger. And in some ways, there's a secondary gain. We're getting something from being triggered. If we weren't getting something, it wouldn't happen. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, Barry, this is bullshit. Like, I don't get anything about feeling not good enough. Well, you do. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't still be doing it. There's some version of you that still believes you're not good enough, or still believes you're a fraud, or still believes that you're fake, or still believes that you shouldn't be getting what you're getting right now. And until we address that, you're going to keep attracting situations to bring that to the forefront, because at the core, we're just love, we're just light, we're just pure existence. And think about it like this. If you were to line up a 6-year-old version of every single human being in whole of existence in one big row, and you look down that row, which one of those 6-year-old versions is not good enough? Which one? None, right? Every single 6-year-old version is good enough. Every single 6-year-old version has the right, the birthright to be here right now on this planet. And if one of them was to disappear, there'd be a tiny little hole in existence that represents that little person. And that's the same right now. So yes, we are worthy. Yes, we do belong. Yes, we're loved. And yes, we can create anything, and nobody else misses out as a result of us getting what we want. No one misses out. Might appear that way, but they don't. So when you start to feel these things, the first step is to start to question, what is creating this experience in me? Where did it start? Because what happens is when we start to ask ourselves open questions like that, our brain has to respond to create a closed loop. Yet often as human beings, many of us ask, why does this keep happening to me? And when we ask a why question like that, it's a very low form of questioning, our brain automatically goes into justification and validation of why. Yet when we start asking different quality questions like, where did this first start? What lets me know that I'm not worthy? What lets me know that I'm a fraud? Or what else could it be? If I wasn't a fraud, if I wasn't a fake, if I wasn't guilty, what else could this be? The more you start to ask the questions, the more you start to realize that we can't get rich collecting one-sided coins. We can't live in a universe where it's sunny all day. Duality exists. Two sides of the coin exist. Night and day exist. Good and bad experiences exist. But it's how we choose to see them that matters most. If you're getting something out of this video, please hit the like button. Make sure you follow us and share it around to someone else who may get value as well. So we can't live in a single-sided reality. We live in a dual reality, meaning that we always have free will and ability to choose. Did we choose to see the coronavirus pandemic as a tragic event? Sure, I get it. People died, people got sick, people lost their jobs, people had businesses go under. I've lost people that I've cared about. I've had businesses go bankrupt. I've lost a lot of money. I've made stupid mistakes. I've had all those things. I get it. That's part of life. And that's going to happen anyway. But did we choose to see that situation, allow it to paralyze us and stop us from doing things? Or do we choose to realize that that is just reality right now? Our reality is that we've had this thing going on. This thing has affected the world. And we can choose to see it as it is and still make decisions to better our life. Still make decisions to better our family. Still make decisions to increase our income and to increase our impact as well. The decision comes down to this, a choice. Is what you're choosing right now in life giving you what you want? Are those beliefs, are those thoughts giving you what you want? And if they're not, maybe it's time to choose something different. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the Game Changers to get up-to-date latest videos and content like this on a weekly basis. And tag someone or share it with someone that you think needs to hear this the most. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Bye for now.